Hello everybody. Alright, so this is my first video for my new channel called 3D Creator. I am long-time experienced 3D CAD design engineer, about 25 years professionally, and a little bit of goofing around before that. And let's see, today's project will be to create my logo. Here's a sketch of it that took me about 7 seconds to create. Obviously it's super high quality. And just to summarize, basically on this channel the intent will be to focus on various software programs for 3D CAD and applying them to design for manufacturing. Not so much just pretty cartoon graphics and high quality renderings, not my specialty, although I can do them. My primary focus has always been for manufacturing. My specialty is mostly Solidworks for the last over 10 years. Before that, I did a whole lot of AutoCAD, primarily 3D. Within the last year and a half or so, bought Rhino for Grasshopper, because Grasshopper is super powerful. It does things that nothing else seems to do. Maybe some Blender. Just real quick, I'll mention how to set your own shortcuts. It's very easy. So if you right click on any of these toolbar buttons and click customize and click the keyboard tab, this is the entire list of your commands available for shortcuts, which is most of the commands but not all. Search for, and so for example, customize, this window is customize, so we'll add a shortcut for customize. So my shortcut is Control-Alt-Shift-C, and so basically if I deleted that, so now if I just say Control-Alt-Shift-C, it will add it. If I said L, it would say no, because, or it would say are you sure, because L is already line, and so I say no. But so this would really say Control-Alt-Shift-C and hit OK, and so now when I hit Control-Alt-Shift-C, Alt-Shift-C, customize comes up, click keyboard, and so now, for example, control points, spline control points is, I want to make Control-Shift-P. So let's say if I type Control into the search window, you can see show spline control points. Close enough. Is Control-Alt-Shift-P, Control-Shift-P, create new. I will pre-select the sketch that I want to, the plane that I want to sketch on, and then I could do any sketch command. Shortcut will automatically, because I have a plane pre-highlighted, doing a sketch command will create a sketch on that plane. And then I'm going to go Control-R for a rectangle. And so basically what I'm doing is putting a canvas in here to put that image on for me to trace from. Oh wait, I rotated it. Alright, so it's about that shape, and I will do a surface, planar surface. See, I pre-selected it. See, pre-selection is important. Alright, so if I say planar surface, it's going to ask me what to make a planar surface out of, because I didn't pre-select anything. Escape. So if I pre-select that, and then I go planar surface, now it knows. You can see that it has now created a planar surface. But if I go Control-Z undo, if I'm already in this, or if, let's say if I'm not in the sketch, then I need to select this sketch, and then it would work. But what I typically do is I'm already in the sketch, and then I go to surfaces and planar surface, and click here or press enter, and now I have a planar surface. And so I'm going to apply the image to it. I'm going to right click on it, appearances, face, because I could put it on the body, I could put it on the part, and everything that I make in this part would have this image on it, which I don't want. I just want it on this face. And so then I am going to go advanced, which will allow me to choose a file. Scale that up. C to create a circle to initiate a sketch. And I'll go N for normal. So I'm looking straight at it. And then I will just sketch this. I will create at least 2 sketches because I have a sketch for. So this is a 3D image. You can see how it's, it's implying that it will be 3D. And this won't just be a straight extrusion because it's kind of tapered. Now I could mess with the camera, but I want to create just right into the objects sort of a perspective distortion, because I want some of it to not be distorted. And so I will do it manually instead of with the camera. And so for that I will need a plane, a sketch for the front face of this 3D, and another sketch set back a ways for the rear hidden surface, and then I will do a loft likely between them, or a series of lofts and probably Boolean operations to get to where I want, especially, well, mainly for the D/8. Alright, so I will start sketching. Line, L for line. And if I hit L again, it cancels it, and then I hit L again, it starts it again. So it could, because otherwise I would just be ended up consecutive, and I don't want that. Now I'll go trim, T for trim, to get rid of that junk. And then I will go A for arc. Rather than arc, I'll go spline, just because that gives me a little more control over it instead of being a perfect radius. I may regret that eventually. Maybe not. I can always change it. Escape, it's funny because some softwares, if you hit escape, you lose your work. But in Solidworks splines, escape ends the spline, which is annoying because in, I think it is Rhino, when you're in spline, escape just cancels what you're doing. So that can be quite annoying when you use Solidworks and you go into Rhino and you hit escape and it throws your work away. Control S for spline again. And I'm going to go, I believe, Control Shift P for my control points. Yeah. Control Shift P shows me my control points for my spline, which allows me to adjust it. So I could do perfect arcs here and nice, perfect, clean offset, but I almost want it to be, not even almost, I want it to be a little bit cartoony and not perfectly, not perfect like radii and things like that. I want splines that are not offset perfectly. It's a little more fun for my taste. That's a little too sharp. Alright, now eventually, theoretically I would do these in separate sketches, but I like to have a controlling sketch, and then I'll project the geometry onto those other sketches, and someday I'll explain that more in more detail, just the way I like to work. So L for line. Let's I'll keep that straight, and then I'll put a little, I kind of like this little thing I did here accidentally. So first I want to add these guys. And then I will Control A for select all, or I can do this crossing, select all. Control A is pretty awesome. Control C for copy. R for rebuild, gets out of the sketch. And I lost my sketch because I didn't have anything in it yet. So I'll recreate this. C for circle, N for normal. Control V for paste. And let's just let's move these first. So move entities. They're already pre-selected because they're blue. If I escape, well, they're blue, but they're a different blue, lighter blue. If I select them, move entities from here to here-ish. Scale entities. Scale about. That should work. And let's say 0.7. What did I do? Oh, I lost the entities. Alright. It's about 0.7. What happened? Let's try it. try that again. Select all. Scale. Scale about. Ah, there we go. I'm not sure why that didn't work before. This is a little smaller than I want. How about 0.8? 0.8 looks nice. Yeah, like 0.8. I may change my mind later, but that's fine. Okay. So I will just drag these. I was considering not even dragging them, but actually I do like what I put in the sketch initially. So I will stick to my initial plan because I like it. This one's all over the place. Control Shift P for control points. Oops. Whoa. Accidentally did P for polygon there. Not what I wanted. Alright. Close enough for, well, no, I want to stretch this guy. While I think of it, I intend to, if you find value in these videos, at least if you find value, please click like. Pretty easy. Maybe subscribe. If you find a lot of value in it and you make a good living, consider donating on my Patreon, which I don't even have set up yet, but I intend to. And try not to think of it as begging, because if it gives value, then it's worth money. You know, maybe it doesn't give you value, then don't give money. That's fine. You can watch for free. But the more I can live off this, the more time I can spend doing it and giving you value. Alright, that looks decent. Although, I have this much more like this. And I think that'll look cool. It'll be kind of skewed 3D, very skewed 3D effect, very cartoony, which is kind of what I'm looking for, I think. I may change my mind later, but I think for now I'll be happy with that. So now I'm going to hide this reference sketch and turn off plane visibility by hitting plus. And so now you can see I have this going on. So I will do a loft. So it calls a lofted base, boss base up here, lofted boss base, but then it just goes loft. So they made me tie my tongue on purpose. Select. So this is my selection manager, which you don't need it necessarily. It's case by case basis. I have it set to come up automatically. Depends if you have this checked or not. So this way it comes up automatically, and then I can just escape out of it if I wanted to. But now notice I clicked here on this one. If I click here on this one, it would be goofy. So it's not happy. So I'm going to delete that, and instead I'll click it, because I clicked the other one here, I'll try to duplicate and click this one here, and then hit enter, and see now it's happy. And if I had a different amount of control points, it would not be happy. I won't bother showing you. You can experiment that with that if you like. I will try to stay on track. So now I have this. I could do goofy things with this loft also. So let's see. If I go normal, I kind of like that. That's a lot like what I was going for. Let's make this transparent so I can so we can see the sketch behind it. So you can see it's kind of like what I was looking for. I like it. I'm going to undo because I don't want that transparent. And so now these sketches went away. But what I will do is Control Alt R is rollback. So I pre-select that and temporarily unabsorb, yes. And so what that did is now I'm rolled back to before. So this is all chronological history tree. I'll go more into that later. But I will scroll forward to just before the command, and then that will give me access to my sketches while not being blocked by the loft. And let's see, show that sketch. So now I have my sketches back again. And so I will go loft again. Is that Control L? Yes, Control L for loft. I like my shortcuts. Why? Huh, that must not be closed. See, it won't let me. Because if I do this, it still won't let me. Well, that's goofy. Solidworks gets a little buggy and goofy sometimes. So for some reason it does not want me to select that. How about if I cancel that? Huh. Oh, I think they intersect. They do. Haha. So again, 9 times out of 10 when you blame the software, it's actually your fault. And mine too, obviously. So let's just tilt that up a little bit. Alright, so I fixed that. So now I should be able to go into Loft, Control L, and select this guy. Oh wait, no, I want the closed loop, not the open loop, not the select group, not the select region, not the standard selection. I want closed loop because it's easier. And select my closed loop, enter. Select this closed loop, enter. And it's happy. Now I can't select all these individually to make one loft. I need to create multiple lofts, then do a Boolean subtraction to get to where I want to be. And so I will click OK there. And so now if I hide this again, and I roll to the end, and I hit asterisk is my sketches, kind of like plus is planes, asterisk sketches, so toggle it on and off. I want it off. Alright, so N for normal, so that's looking D for decent. But I need to subtract out the 8 from create. Alright, so I'm going to again roll back, temporarily unabsorb, okay. Roll to just before the features. Asterisk turns on my sketches. And then I will again Control F, Control L for loft. And I'll select this guy, enter. Select this guy, enter. Enter. See, it's much faster if I just do it and don't explain it. And then I roll back again here. Okay. And roll to just before that sketch. And so I still have these. So now I need to do the same with these. So I Control L. Enter. 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 Control L. Enter. 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 And so now I can scroll to here. I'm sorry, roll forward to do that, and then I can. Oh, did I have to make sure that I have unchecked merge? Okay, unchecked. Unchecked. Okay, they're just the same color. So actually, if I go solid bodies, I can see here. see all of my different various bodies. And so I want to subtract. Subtract is within combine. Subtract, main body here, I'm subtracting from. Bodies to subtract, and I can either select these with a window, oops, or I can drag this down, go up to my bodies, solid bodies folder, add that guy. So I'm subtracting from this guy, these two guys, and enter. So now I have this guy, which I will subtract from this guy. And so I say combine, subtract, main body, bodies to combine, now all bodies. Turn that off. Control Alt Shift is roll R. Control Alt Shift R is roll to end. F is fit. That's looking pretty good. Let's surface bodies. Let's turn this surface body, which is my reference sketch, turn that on. And so that's looking pretty good. And you know what? I want this not intersecting, so I will, this sketch I will adjust. Actually, you know what I can do? I should be able to turn on my sketches and just drag that. Now if I go Control Shift P, it doesn't let me see. Whoa. Is that what I want? I can do that. As long as I don't intersect there, that should work. R for rebuild. And so now there's a little gap there and there, which I like better. Actually, I think I want it even more. So I think I'll move this guy over and this guy over. Yeah, like that. Hide that guy. Oops. Yeah, I like that. Alright. Show this sketch again. It's not a sketch, it's a reference image of a snapshot of a pen sketch, which is not the same as a Solidworks sketch, in order to not confuse you. So, now I need to decide what the C, R, E, and R should look like. I was almost thinking like, you know, one of them's like a balloon animal, one of them's like an ice cube, one of them's like a C-clamp. I don't know. I really hadn't decided yet, other than I knew that the 3 and the D with the 8 I intended. I'm not sure what to do with the R because I don't want it to truncate the D, so I'm thinking transparent. So maybe that one would be, I was actually thinking that would be like the balloon animal. Maybe that will be like the ice cube sort of texture. I'm not sure how I would make that. I could make it like glassy and perfectly clear. That's pretty easy. To make an ice cube, that's more of a rhino thing to sort of fill it with. Although I mean, I could apply an ice cube image to the texture and then just make it transparent. I'm not sure how good that would look. Good enough. I mean, this is just going to be the little icon, so it's going to be tiny anyway, so it doesn't need to be super high quality. It's just the logo for my channel. Anyway, let's worry about that after. Or let's see, let's think about it. If I make that the sort of ice cube, then that allows me, or something transparent, that allows this to be, yeah, actually the ice cube is less transparent. If I just made it glass, I could almost make it like a gem, like faceted. But that would take away, that would detract from this arc of the D. I really want this D arc to be very visible. So I was actually thinking about curving the R to fit around it, but I think actually if I curve it and inset it, it will actually increase the pronouncement of the arc because it will reinforce it even though it overlaps. So let's see how that will look. And I'm going to make this in front of everything else. So I pre-select that, the front face, front plane, excuse me, and Control plus creates a plane, and 1/2 inch, sure, we'll call that good enough for now. I can always adjust that later because it's SolidWorks. Or I guess I could in AutoCAD too, just not parametrically. I would just do it manually. That's all good. Enter. Let's call this R plane, R2 plane, R2 plane. So that way it's easier for me to navigate later. As the model gets bigger and bigger, and then you want to change things, it can be tricky to determine what is what. And you can spend a lot of time looking around and investigating to find your proper features to edit. So if you name them, that makes it much easier. So this R2 plane, pre-select C for circle, just because to create the sketch, N for normal. And I'm actually going to, in order to make this, rather than try to match this arc and it still won't be perfect, I will project the geometry from that sketch, and then I will actually offset this inward. I will Control A for select all, and I will Control and go across these to deselect them, and then I'm going to delete everything else. And so now I have this nice offset. I will increase it here. So right now it's 0.1. Let's say 0.25. Probably good. I can adjust it. Oh, I hit rebuild. Edit sketch. I was going to say I can adjust that later, but I suspect that once I trim this, it won't let me adjust the offset. I can confirm that. So I'm going to go spline. Escape. And let's go spline. Escape. So now if I go trim, can I still adjust? It looks like I can. Or not. Yeah. It doesn't like, it's probably this. Let me back up. What? now it gave me something. That's funny. I almost want to just leave it because at least it worked. Actually, maybe I'll make the letters the lights, because then they'll... Let's see. I think I like that. And maybe I'll make those like chrome. Polished steel, which basically looks somewhat like chrome. Let's see what that looks like in the... Let's save first. Let's see what it looks like in the integrated preview. Huh. I don't know. Let's make that black background. Let's do... yeah, we'll just put it right in this. So if I show that, and then I select it, I turn off the integrated preview. off. Select circle, rectangle, nice and big, and planar surface. And yeah, planar surface. And let's make that just something black. Painted. Ooh, I have like automotive colors here. I really just want black though. Just on that body. Okay, let's select this guy and hide it. Now this is looking interesting. Still not sure about that E, but let's put some more colors. Not sure about this color scheme. As I mentioned, color's not necessarily my strong suit. Design for manufacturing is my strong suit, but we'll go with it. Maybe these should all be lights. Actually, I can make them all lights even if they don't start out as lights. I can add emissivity. What colors do we have still? Candy apple red. And the E. That's more glass. Oop, that goes away. That's not it. Green. I don't have anything green yet. Very transparent though, so let me give it some, let me turn it into a light, give it some emissivity. Edit that. Illumination. Luminous intensity. Watts per SRM squared. I don't even know what SRM squared is, other than it's something meters squared. So watts per something rads meters squared. I don't know. Wait a minute. No, I know everything. You have to pretend you know everything, right? I don't. All right, we'll just give it a 1 and see what happens. Is there a preview? Oh, there it goes. I'm not in my... That made it much brighter though. That made it acceptable. I kind of don't like the sharp edges on it. Although when I do a render, I'll have the edges turned off. So let me turn the edges off. Anyway, edges will be off in integrated preview. I think I'm going to delete those faces. Let's see, surfaces, delete face. Do. Is that this guy? Must be. Save image. 3D creator. Logo. Let's do it. No. Photoshop's probably actually pretty good quality. Image quality, I'm guessing. This looks pretty good, I think. I'm liking it. I am liking it very much. I believe that concludes the video portion of my video. Thanks for watching. Please, if you found any value in it, press like, potentially subscribe, donate, buy merch, buy from an affiliate link, anything else I could think of how I can line my pockets so I can afford to spend more time creating content of value to you. And if nobody watches, it's not worth doing. So I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye bye.